Live from Fitzpatrick Stadium here in Portland, Maine. Good evening and welcome to another Sunday night showdown here in United Women's Soccer League action. A game that was scheduled for yesterday, but was pushed to Sunday Night Lights. We're under the lights in downtown Portland, where Maine Footy plays host to Ole Eagles in a matchup that carries some extra weight, especially for the home side. Last time these two teams met, it was all Eagles, a 4-0 result that frankly wasn't close from the looks of it. 2-0 in the first half and 2 more goals in the second, and that was all she wrote for Maine Footy. The Eagles controlled possession, created chance after chance, and left Maine looking for answers. And while that was weeks ago, the sting still lingers. Tonight, Maine Footy will look to turn the page, and it's a chance to show growth and respond, and maybe, just maybe, get their season pointed in the right direction. A win tonight would go a long way in restoring confidence and finding their footing in league play. But they'll have their hands full. Ole Eagles have been in rhythm again. That 4-0 win left Maine wondering what was next. The Eagles are looking to do what they've already done once, dominate this matchup and fly home with more points. Keys to the game, Emma Badger, Maine's floor general, if you will, and if Maine Footy's going to flip the script tonight, I think it has to start with Emma Badger. She's the engine. The point guard is what I call her. The player who can dictate the pace, keep the play organized in possession. Badger will need to control the tempo tonight, slow it down when necessary, break pressure, but also pick her moments to push forward and attack. If she can settle things in the midfield and on the back line and keep Maine in rhythm, it changes everything. While on the other side, containing Mary Lund-Regan and the Eagles' attack. The other half of that challenge is showing the Old Eagles front line, especially Mary Lund-Regan, how to be slowed down. She had a goal the last time these two teams met and really stretched the back line with her movement. Maine can't allow her that kind of space again, whether it's with more compact defensive shape or tighter tracking on the wings. The priority is simple. Limit Mary's touches and force the Eagles to beat you in different ways. So it's a night for redemption, for response, and maybe even revenge for Maine Footy under the lights here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Ready for another shot at the Eagles. We'll see if they rise to the challenge. Kickoff is coming up next. Stay tuned. I'm Taylor Mannix, your broadcaster, and we'll be back with the first half of action from Fitzpatrick Stadium tonight. Number 9, Sarah Parker. Number 12, Grace Petrie. Number 6, Hannah Silva. Number 10, Amelia Stevens. And number 11, Katie Stook. And now, the starters for your Maine Footy. Number 99, Grace Wilson. Number 9, Allie Mokriski. Number 19, Michelle Shoup. Number 3, Emma Badger. Number 20, Alexis Elowich. Number 2, Kelsey Flint. Number 10, Caden Smith. Number 6, Emily Hood. Number 18, Elsa Freeman. Number 8, Sophie Gokluski. Number 11, Ava Feely. Maine Footy is coached by Paul Baber, Jamie Kelly. Our director of football is Todd Sniper. May you all please rise for the playing of our national anthem. As the final notes of the national anthem echo across Fitzpatrick Stadium tonight, the captains meet with the officials in the middle circle, and we get ready for some soccer. Welcome in, everybody, again. We are live in Portland, Maine on a picture-perfect summer night for soccer. It's Maine Footy and the Old Eagles under the lights and ready to go in this United Women's Soccer League showdown. And let's be honest, there's nothing quite like a Maine summer evening. Not much of a cool breeze off the water yet as the sun dips behind the stands, but a vibrant local crowd is filling the seats here at Fitzpatrick. It's the kind of night made for the beautiful game. I'm Taylor Mannix, thrilled to be with you guys tonight. We've got a good one lined up. These two teams, again, last met just a few weeks ago. It feels like a 4-0 win for Old Eagles. That wasn't as close as the score suggested, but that's the past. Tonight, Maine Footy is hoping to write a different story on home turf here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Normally playing over at Memorial Field, but that game yesterday was moved, and we're here tonight at the home of the Hearts of Pine in the USL League One, which is tonight now home of Maine Footy and United Women's Soccer. Well, we should mention before we get underway here today, as mentioned in the pregame, Emma Badger needing to take control of the tempo. She's the brain in the back line for Maine, calm under pressure, smart with the ball, and key to keeping her teammates connected. If Badger can dictate the pace as we talked about, Maine will feel a lot more comfortable than they did in this first meeting. Second, they've got to find a way to contain Mary Lund Regan and this Ole Eagles offense. The Ole Eagles forward was a handful last time out, scored a goal, created plenty of more chances, and really stretched Maine's back line. Slowing her down has to be a top priority defensively. It's a big test, no doubt, but Maine Footy's at home with a crowd behind them and the kind of weather that makes you want to stay outside all night long. We're about ready for kickoff. Maine Footy and Ole Eagles coming up next right here at Fitzpatrick Stadium in Portland. And we are moments away from kickoff. Again, the fans are in the stands. Fitzpatrick Stadium once didn't have these backs to them. But again, the USL League One Portland Hearts of Pine have come in here and added plenty of additions, including a brand new turf field, which is what both these teams are playing on. A little bit of a missed kick. Elowich, though, able to contain, plays it back to Wilson, who will one-touch it towards the left side and play with her left foot towards the left side. Kept in by Maine. Dangerous area, though. In trouble now. A bunch of white jerseys swarming. Maine, though, going to be able to get that one out. Delay enough. Touch out and touch back and touch out, I should say. Played across to Kate Stuck for the Ole Eagles, playing on that left side. Back to the center back now, and Grace Petrie. Petrie and Katie Stuck playing a little 1-2 game down the line. She was looking for Annabelle Edwards. That was well defended by Maine Footy and out for a goal kick on the 6-yard line. So far, a little bit of pressure early from Ole Eagles, who scored 2 goals in the first half. The last time these two teams met, Wilson, well driven to midfield, doesn't touch anybody. Second ball almost won by Maine, but the third ball won back by the Eagles, who will play to their goalkeeper, Allie Auger, who has plenty of time to think about it. She plays one towards the 35-yard line. The flick on was missed by Edwards, but there's the recovery by Stuck. Stuck looking to go one-on-one, can't beat her defender. Nicely defended by Maine. That was number 9, Allie Mokriski. But a good job on that right side for Maine defending. She's going to have her hands full tonight with Edwards and Stuck, as there's a nice run coming in quickly. That was Sarah Parker. Comes into contact with Wilson. Well done. Parker showing off the sill. See the overlapping runs by the Eagles. They're not afraid to try to penetrate. It's one of the keys of soccer for those of you who have read the principles of play from the England England Football Federation. One of those principles of play is penetration, and right now the Ole Eagles are having plenty of it, even though Maine is doing one of those other principles, delaying well, much playing defense, but for how much longer? The Eagles picking up right where they left off from the last game. Katie Stuck with the throw-in. Allie Mokriski loses possession. Here comes Parker, who played one in, and that one's going to tip in, and that's a goal, and Wilson is going to be disappointed with that one as Sarah Parker puts one in from an angle of impossibility. What a tough angle to find the back of the net as we see the teams reset, and it's 1-0. Ole Eagles already. They struck twice in the first half. We're waiting to get confirmation on the goal. It looked like it could have been Sarah Parker, number 9 on that corner, but it was close. 1-0 nonetheless for the Ole Eagles, and now Maine is on their heels early and often. And Sarah Parker found the back of the net on a tight angle for the Eagles to make it 1-0. A lot of chaos down in that corner. Early on, the Eagles are having a lot of success. Maine coming out in a 4-3-3 tonight. Looking to play to Freeman or Hood up at the top. Right now, that's number 18 in the mix for Maine Footy. Elsa Freeman up at that top spot as here come the old Eagles taking a free kick. Turns and a quick play over to Stook. Stook now. Stook and Edwards. Stook, though, taking on her defender. Really well played, though. Not letting her turn with Sophie Gokluski. Great overlapping run. The Eagles are back in attack mode. Played across and a well-touched ball. Sarah Parker has two. The Eagles are soaring early here in Portland as they have taken off and have yet to come back down to earth. It's 2-0. They have scored 6 unanswered against Maine Footy in just 2 games. 4 goals in the first half combined in 2 games. 2 more here, and Sarah Parker with her second on a beautiful, beautiful volley. And Maine can only be left guessing and looking for answers. Badger to Elowich as they'll try to play quick. Elowich. Second goal for the Eagles scored by number 9, Sarah Parker. Dude, she's balling, dude. Again, Sarah Parker with 2 goals and only 6 minutes. As we take a look at the replay, just fantastic build-up. You see the overlapping run. Unbelievable play, and then just doesn't even fool around. One touch, bang. Unbelievable job. And you just see the build-up by the Old Eagles. No fooling around. Quick build-up. Midfielder comes in. The overlapping run from her back comes up. She plays it to her, and her back doesn't even take a touch to dribble. It's driven low into the box. And cleaning that up, one touch with Sarah Parker. Really, really good execution by the Eagles, who have now scored 6 goals against Maine. 4 on the road, 2 in the first half, 2 in the second, 2 again here in this second half. Is great effort down there by Emily Hood. She plays it across, but well collected by the keeper, Allie Auger, who gets her first bit of action on the cross. She's tested. She passes. It's not the final exam yet. A little bit of a pop quiz in the first semester for Allie Auger, but still an A's and A. Old Eagles now. She looks for the outside. Maine applying the pressure, though. Eagles now trying to attack down that right side where they had a lot of success. She was looking for Amelia Stevens, couldn't get it, and Elowich will play back to Wilson, who will one time with the left foot out. She's able to find Emily Hood, who can't corral it. Emily Hood does, though, win it back on the third ball. Kelsey Flint plays it wide. Mokriski wins it back, almost falls over the ball, though, and Eagles up with possession. Lundregan plays it to the right side. Here they go. The Eagles, once again, off the back of Elowich, who clears it one time. No fooling around there. Throwing now on the far right side for the Eagles. Chested down, and she's going to turn. Right foot over to trying to get to her teammate, but well played by Ali Mokriski, who knew it was coming. Kriski now. Mokriski plays it. Sophie Gokluski was looking for her teammate Kelsey Flint, but dispossessed. And now the Eagles will reset it back in their own end. Auger taking her time. She's looking for some help. A little frustrated. Her teammates are standing around. Second ball won by the Eagles, played wide. And here comes Katie Stook again. She was able to find her luck, though. Doesn't dribble too much that time. Gets it off her foot to Parker, who has 2 goals Now Hannah Silva, she fooled around with it, got it to Julia Johnson, who tried to play it wide, but it will still stay Eagles ball. And now on the throw-in is Maeve Matthews. Matthews looking for her teammates. A little bit more movement off the ball there for the Eagles. Nicely won by Badger. She doesn't get much help, though. Has to recover. Turning now on that one is Mary Lund-Regan. She scored last game. She's looking for one now. Gets it on her left foot. Well blocked by Elowich. Cleared by Maine. Elsa Freeman looked for help. Elowich now looking for help as well, and Maine struggling to find some sort of answers as they're being locked in their own half so far early on. Mokriski to go Kluski, who plays that one back to Badger, who we talked about trying to be the facilitator. We see it now, a direct ball right to the top. She's looking for number 11, Ava Feely, former Yarmouth standout. Feely now going to try to take her defender one-on-one, plays a dangerous ball across, and Auger collects it, and nothing doing. Another easy pass test, or another test easily passed, by the Eagles. A lot of space to work with down that right side. Cuts it back. Looks for help in the middle. Coming to the ball there was Parker, who has 2 goals. You can tell why she wants the ball on her foot. Parker plays one in and almost looking for a hat trick, but that dangerous ball trickles all the way over to the flag. Here comes Stook. Katie Stook one-on-one. Plays the ball towards the top of the 18. Maine pressuring. Back to Stook. Stook now to Silva. And Silva will play that one back. Julia Johnson's going to take a shot at Wilson over the bar and out for a goal kick. But looks like the Eagles are really feeling confident. Everybody trying to get in on a lot of one-on-one. Early on, you saw the 1-2 touches, the way they had build-up play. They weren't fooling around. Now it looks like this team is playing with their food. They've had a little bit of an appetizer here with these 2 goals. They've scored 6 unanswered. Can you blame the Eagles for the confidence that's on display right now, especially with everybody trying to show off a little offensive skill as the Eagles win it back, dispossessed? That one was number 9 for the Eagles, Sarah Parker, who was able to get possession back, but well won by Ava Feely. But as soon as Maine's able to get something, it goes right back the other way. Edwards, one-on-one. Edwards, left-footed cross. Almost met on the other side, but cleared out by the Teal. Maine fighting for that one, and a whistle will be given. Free kick, and Wilson will take it, and Maine will have a chance to take a breather and clear as the pressure continues just 12 minutes in. Katie Stook and a throw in Maine. Good pressure by Maine Footy as Ali Mokriski will come up to take the throw-in for Maine Footy. Mokriski throw-in. Headed out and out of bounds, though, in a quick turn of possession. That's been the story. It has been all Ole Eagles in the opening stages here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. We're about to the 15-minute mark. Sarah Parker has struck twice already. Maine's reeling, it feels like. The Eagles are pressing high, winning balls in dangerous areas, really dictating the tempo. Maine just hasn't found their footing yet. They're struggling to get clean touches, and every time they do, there's pressure in their face. You see right here, Elowich just absolutely met by Annabelle Stevens. Just the pressure is all over them. You see it, the Ole Eagles. And Parker's movement has been electric. Her finishing clinical has obviously been a big reason they're up 2-0, but the Eagles look like they've picked up right where they left off the last time these two met. Still early, but Maine needs a response. They need one fast here. Right now it's all Eagles. Elowich. Hard tackle, and she is going to get a foul. A lot of body on that one. So that was Michelle Schwoop. Michelle Schwoop who took that one. Here comes Wilson now. Who's going to win the second ball? It's Maine, but out of bounds. Good effort from number 18, Elsa Freeman, on the header, but see if they can lock Ole Eagles in and try to get a goal of their own as that sun shines down on a beautiful Sunday evening here in the 207. Ball played across to Katie Stook. She finds Edwards. Edwards now going to play a ball over, trying to look for the switch fields, but instead she finds Shoop. Shoop to Hood. Hood plays it back to Wilson. She'll have to probably one-time this out. Keeps it short to Elowich, who turns and has space. Over the top, looked to go direct on that one to Elsa Freeman. Freeman will run in now, but it's going to be easily played for Julia Johnson back to Auger. And Auger's going to have Grace Petrie there to meet her, who will take a touch. And Petrie now will get back into the offensive end. As you see, it's all Eagles right now. Back to Stook. Stook battling on that left side. Well won, though, by Maine Footy. A great job by Sophie Gokluski with an impressive win and a foul given. But Gokluski is battling on that that left side, along with Ali Mokriski. They have their hands full right now on that side. Everybody does defensively, really, especially with the way this Eagle team moves the ball. Petrie quickly to Lundregan. Over to Johnson now. Johnson will take a couple dribbles and survey the field. No urgency here with a 2-0 lead as they try to methodically pick away. Ball played down to Sarah Parker. She's looking for a hat trick in the first half. Big touch and out of bounds, but dangerous ball back across. Either way, it did look like Ali Mokriski was able to handle it, and it would have been cleared, but not what Maine wanted to see. Sarah Parker has been dangerous today. It's been all over the Maine Footy. O'Krisky, nice ball. See if Maine can do anything with it. Sophie Gokluski played one to Freeman. Freeman running into it. Johnson plays it out for a throw-in for Maine as Maine starts to build a little bit of offense. Sophie Gokluski and, again, Ali Mokriski playing their hearts out here tonight, really doing everything they can to keep Maine in this. .50-50 ball. Won by the Eagles. A nice touch. Great cut back and off go the Eagles, but an unfortunate ball ends up on the foot of Elowich, who will play it back to Wilson, and Maine catches a break as it looked like the Eagles wanted to break out. Stook played it across, but it was tipped by Parker, and that one's going to fall to the feet of Maine. Maine now going to try to go in transition. Michelle Shoop. Shoop going to play one down the side, but Feely couldn't corral it, and it goes out of bounds, and that's been the story for Maine. They can't seem to get that touch. Great turn and cut. Just an unbelievably shifty player as Petrie will play it to Stook. Stook now keeps it, almost keeps it, I should say. And even with Maine Footy on the back foot here early, Sophie Gokluski and Ali Mokriski have been two bright spots, I'd say, on the defensive end. They're battling hard on this side with Katie Stuck, as you see her now in possession back to Petrie. Petrie had Lundgren, now, plays a direct ball down the line into Edwards. She splits the defenders. What a ball. Left-footed cross coming on hard. We're the Eagles. That was number 3, Ella McGee, who tried to get in the mix, but looks like a goal kick or a free kick of some sort will be given as the referee called for a stop. But you see how dangerous and quick they can be, especially with Mary Lundregan, who was able to play that ball, split the defenders. You hear it all the time when you talk to coaches. A lot of people look to play that ball to the flag, that ball to the corner. When you're trying to play that player to a corner like that, you really want to play them directly as you saw Mary Lundregan did. Why? Because as you saw, it made things a lot easier for Edwards as she ran onto that ball to play it across and didn't even have to take a touch. So that direct ball, splitting the defenders, allowing an offensive player to run onto it can be the most dangerous one you see on a soccer pitch. And it almost cashed in for the Eagles, but here comes Maine as they try to possess in a missed kick for Elsa Freeman as the frustration continues to mount. But let's get back to that bright spot. Because with the Eagles throwing numbers forward, and Sarah Parker already on the score sheet twice, it's been a high-pressure start. But Gokluski and Mokriski are doing everything they can to hold things together, winning tackles we've seen, closing space, making smart reads, just gritty, committed defending. And you see it there by Michelle Shoup, who's also made a couple plays trying to get her team going. Freeman now looking for some help, fakes it to the right, plays it back left, but to the wrong player, as that one was easily picked up by Maeve Matthews, and some subs looking to come in. Maine can flip the momentum, though. It's going to start with the work of Gokluski and Mokriski and Michelle Shoup and a couple others as we see some subs coming in. And the Old Eagles getting some fresh legs on as they look to maybe gives everybody a little bit of a break 22 minutes in with things 2-0. And the way they've been dominating possession, too, why not? Ball played to the middle, but won back by Mary Lundregan, who needs some help. Maine swarming, one back, and played across, and won by Auger. A dangerous moment. Sophie Golkluski was all over it again. No shock that she's in the mix. As Kelsey Flint recovered there and won by Badger. Back to Flint. Flint now looking to go and attack. Golkluski loses possession, dispossessed by Lundregan, and Lundregan turns on the Jets, beating number 10, Caden Smith, down the line. And here come the Eagles. Lundregan already had a goal last time out, looking for hers this time. Patience. Kate Stuck down the line. Eagles now looking for a dangerous chance. Almost a header in there by Sarah Parker, and it looks like a foul going to be called against the Eagles, coming out Maine free kick, but Parker was looking for that hat trick. She came crashing in, looking to get ahead on that ball. Unfortunately, she couldn't get a piece, and Maine going to get whistled for the free kick. I honestly thought it was going against us, but, we'll take it. We'll take it. As you see that one bounce back to Petrie, who will take a few dribbles with her right foot, plays it out wide, one touch back to Stuck, and there's the team play you see from this Old Eagle side that makes their offense so lethal. What a beautiful touch by Parker, showing off the skills, getting creative in the attacking third. But losing possession are the Eagles despite the fancy footwork, and with 24 minutes in, Maine will have a throw-in. That's Ali Mokriski. Mokriski Throws it in, flicked on by Kelsey Flint, and out of bounds for an Eagles throw-in. Parker met with a lot of pressure, as Maine should. Can't give Parker any space with already being on the score sheet twice. Lundregan spins but loses possession, goes right to Flint. Flint plays that back to Badger, who just kicks it but lands on the foot of Freeman. Freeman tries to get Feely involved, but she's dispossessed, and here comes the Eagles once again. An attack with some fresh legs off the bench, but Elowich says no as she denies entry. Trying to turn as Lundregan shot, and a nice save by Wilson, just gets a hand on it. And that sends it over the bar. Wilson with a wonderful save, and it keeps it at 2-0. Unbelievable fingertip save by Wilson on that one to keep this game within striking distance for Maine Footy, but they're not out of the woods yet, as a corner kick will be taken for the Eagles as they load up the box. Only one back is Allie Auger, as they're sending everyone up. Left-footed, well-driven, looking for the head of Grace Petrie, but it goes out of bounds, and Maine Footy will avoid any more damage with a beautiful save from Wilson. We take a look back at this one and watch the throw in here. You see the space that's created by Lundregan. She takes that turn, another touch, and then look, lines it up and rips that. What a save. If she doesn't get a hand on that, that's in the back of the net for Lundregan's second goal in as many games against this team, but more importantly, it's 3-0 here at home, and Maine Footy are really at that point on the defensive. At that point, you have to wonder where the confidence goes when you're not even halfway through a game and you go down 3-0. Maine, though, going to try to fight, as they did have a substitute come in. Number 10, Caden Smith, did check out. I will have a sub for you once I figure out who checked in. It looks like Wilson plays that one up to Sophie Gokluski and out of bounds. Once again, Maine lacking that final touch to get into their attacking third and really get the offense rolling. And your new sub, by the way, who checked in was Kaylee Quinn, number 16. As she has checked in, she's looking like she's moved up into a bit of a striker position, pushing Elsa Freeman more into the midfield, as you'll see number 18, Freeman now working under the 50-yard line with Kaylee Quinn working up atop, and Wilson under pressure. Maine in some trouble. Badger. She'll try to clear. Maine just looking for the outlets. They find Feely, and they'll try to get going. Feely, nice left-footed ball down to the corner. Here comes Quinn. Quinn freshly checked in, but couldn't beat Johnson as it was well defended by Julia Johnson of the Eagles. And Maine once again is left wondering how they can strike. A lot of frustration, I'm sure, to be had at the halftime conversations as Petrie will take it in, starting from the back in the build. To Stook. She'll keep it in. Back to Petrie. She's got Johnson to her right. Stook to her left. Choose Lundregan. Here comes Mary Lundregan. Already had that fire of a left-footed shot. She's trying to work it back to her left. Elowich one-on-one. Rips it. Wide right. Well defended by Elowich as that one goes wide. As Lundregan has been looking all game for that goal. She came just inches from one earlier. It was Wilson who denied her. Like an 18-year-old with a fake ID in the old port. As that one goes down, Julia Johnson now will just shield that one off for a throw-in as Kaylee Quinn will await. It looks like we are going to get some subs. Ava Feely will check out for Maine. And once I can see the winning that one back, though, Kelsey Flint battling and a free kick going to be given to Maine. Grace Marquise, number 17, is who checked in for Maine Footy as well. My eyes do not deceive me. Sorry for a little bit of delay on those. I don't have the binoculars with me. Didn't come prepared today. Badger puts a dangerous ball into the 18. Not much communication, though, and just goes out for really no damage done. Not even a half chance on that one for Maine Footy as we hit the 30-minute more mark at 32 now. 2-0 in favor of the old Eagles. 6 unanswered goals so far. 2 goals in each half that they've played. As Petrie once again starts it out in their own end. Left-footed to the midfield, and she'll turn, have plenty of space to operate. Looking for Lundregan. Badger, though, easily played to Wilson. And they'll continue to go back and forward. One in the midfield, though. Really nice job by the Eagles to get possession back. They've continued to dominate that. Maeve Matthews was getting in the action there. Pressure now. Played back to Auger. She'll take a touch with the right foot and look for Petrie. Instead decides to play right up the middle. Mary Lundregan takes an ankle on her way upfield. She gets into the attacking third, lays it off for Parker. She's going to look for the hat trick. Touches left foot almost to the upper 90, but goes wide left. And Sarah Parker, not trigger shy, as she was looking for the target, but she just missed. 2-0 still as Wilson plays it quick. Grace Marquis again and Kaylee Quinn checked in so far for Maine. Ava Feely and Caden Smith subbed out on the bench from the starters as here comes the old Eagles. Mary Lundregan again against Badger one-on-one. Plays it to her right and goes wide again as she once again is going with the two-step. She's loving to take on these defenders. She's up for a dance partner. She's been going one-on-one, showing off the foot skill, trying to break down her defenders any way she can. She's yet to be successful, but you see why as we take a look back at the replay. She did have a goal in the last one. Great defense by Badger, though. Look at the delay. Able to move her feet, keep her in front of her, and for those defenders back at home, Emma Badger, that's why she's on this team and is considered one of the leaders, was my keys to the game. It's back to last year when I covered this team. She's been one of the staples on the back line as you see her directing traffic with Wilson, who will take a low-driven ball to midfield Elowich now on the outside waiting. She'll play one up. Mokriski on the outside from Elowich. Elowich plays it, but just in front of her, and unfortunately, this has been the disconnect for Maine. They've not been able to find the connector. Well won by the Maine Footy. Beautifully won, in fact. Elsa Freeman, who's dropped into the midfield again since those subs have come in, made her presence known. Over the top, they were looking for Sophie Gokluski, but instead they'll end up on the attack. Here comes Mary Lundregan. She has a ton of space. This is where she's most dangerous. 1, 2, and that's a goal. Mary Lundregan finds the back of the net, and it is 3-0 in favor of the Ole Eagles. Mary Lundregan again with the goal. She scored last time out against this team. That one hurt. Let's take a look back at that replay. And once that space was created, look at that pass. Beautiful into space. Takes 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and just no one. I mean, that's just a tough play to make. I mean, she was left out there in no man's land was Badger, and Wilson, I think, a little bit too aggressive on that. Wilson maybe with the defender there needed to stay a little bit more conservative, but either way, Mary Lundregan would not be denied one of the best goal scorers on this team, and she gets a second against Maine. Julia Johnson now will take her time. No need to rush. It's now 3-0 Ole Eagles, and once again, as mentioned, Mary Lundregan getting on the score sheet. Said a few times already, but she scored the last time these two teams met, and she's done it again tonight, continuing to be a matchup nightmare for Maine Footy. And again, we see it. You can see why. Great foot skill, especially when she's out in space. She loves to go one-on-one. And really this whole game, the Eagles are simply dominating. The movement, the pressure, the finishing, it's been clinical from the visitors. Maine just hasn't had a single answer. Even with the score line, you still have to tip your cap again to Sophie Gokluski, Ali Mokriski. They've been working hard, tirelessly on that back line, throwing themselves into every play, but the Eagles have been relentless. As you see now, here comes Gokluski. Just talking about her, she must have heard her, ears must have been burning and decided to take it into her own hands. Gokluski, again, has been all over the place. As you see her there doing everything she can. Elowich now plays a ball to Flint, who loses possession, and here comes Parker, who can have a hat trick if she finishes this one. One-on-one with Badger. Goes left foot, tries to get it by. Beautiful one-on-one save by Wilson. Wilson's had to be called upon twice already, and she's able to make the save. But Lundregan's goal has added more frustration to Maine, who find themselves in a deep hole here in the first half. They've got to find a spark, something to shift the energy, because right now it's all Eagles, and with this corner kick, it could continue to pile on as we almost get to the halftime, which I'm sure Maine, Coach Baber is begging to get to this halftime to regroup. Can't allow the bleeding to continue as Maine looks to mark up. Annabelle Edwards with a corner kick corralled by Wilson, who rolls it out, and off goes Maine. Trying to go in transition. No heel flick going to work there. Pokes it out and nothing doing as Maine squander a transition opportunity, and Maeve Matthews will have the throw-in for the Eagles. It's like she tried to get it to Edwards on that throw-in, but it ends up on a Maine foot as Maine tries to play it over the top. Here comes Footy. Looking for Gokluski down the right side. She plays her. Gokluski now. Talked about her a lot. Let's see if she can get her team on the right side of this one. Takes a step. Left-footed shot. Can't get enough curvature on it. And it goes out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Auger. But the idea from Gokluski there was noted and appreciated from the fans as this team needs some offense as we head to about 5 minutes left before added time in this first half. Not much added time expected the way this one's gone. I'd expect maybe 1 or 2 minutes max at this point, but at least 1 minute added. Be shocked if we got 2. Gokluski again, though. Great opportunity. Free kick given now, and the Old Eagles will take their time to push up the field. Nicely saved and corralled by Wilson. Try to settle her team down. Pushing the back for Maine, and a free kick now for the Eagles. As it's slow rolling here, as we try to get into that. Both teams, it looks like at this point, are just trying to get to the halftime. I think we are too here after a tough one. Maine almost wins that one back, but the Eagles continue to hold possession. Played in, one back, dispossessed. Here comes Maine, but a tough touch as the ball continues to pinball around midfield. Played back to Badger at the 30-yard line. Badger will play back to Wilson in the 18. Auger in possession, almost there, as again we see the teams really have slowed the pace down. Understandably so. No need to be urgent if you're the Eagles. Maine has to be the urgent team, and right now they're not playing like it. And if you're Maine, you honestly maybe want to save yourself a little bit for the second half as they have a tall mountain to climb, as here comes the Eagles as they start to go back in offense. Ella McGee still in possession. McGee looking to make something happen. She has Parker to her left. She opts to shoot, blocked by Badger. And that one rolls right out to Gokluski. And out of bounds throw in for the Eagles. A little bit of action there after what was a little bit of a pinball quiet time for a few minutes there, but the Eagles decided to wake up a little bit as that one's thrown in. McGee takes a touch back and out of bounds, and that will now be a Maine throw-in. Wilson, tough touch, and it failed her. She got lucky, though, as it was able to bounce out. And Wilson, who's made a few good saves today, has been caught a couple times like that. Maybe not completely focused, but tough one on that one. I mean, just a focus for a goalkeeper is so important. A few times it seems she's let herself slip as Badger and Maine at this point just feels like they're trying to clear and keep it out of their defensive third for more than 5 minutes as the Old Eagles have really just applied the pressure and not allowed Maine to feel any sort of breathing room. Badger with a great step, able to keep the pressure up. This is what Maine needs now to end the half. Beautifully placed ball down the line, but well defended by the Eagles. Auger takes a tough ball. Maine's there, and they're going to lock him in. They have the pressure up. The press is on. Can Maine win it back? They can, and breaking the press with ease is the Eagles. And over the top, looks like to Parker as Wilson retreats into her net. Parker, first half hat trick is sealed, and Sarah Parker has 3 goals. That's the trifecta. Sarah Parker has put the exclamation point on the first half, and it is 4-0. 8 unanswered goals for the Eagles in just 3 halves of soccer, and they are all over Maine Footy. Let's take a look back at that replay as a ball was well struck down the line by Hannah Silva, and look at that one touch and well composed, collected, cool as she just passes it into the back of the net. Assist Hannah Silva, and 3rd goal in the first half for Sarah Parker. What a half for the Eagles as the first half whistle here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. It's been total control for the visiting Old Eagles, who now take a 4-0 lead into the break over Maine Footy. Sarah Parker has been unstoppable, completing a first half hat trick with her 3rd goal just before the break. She's been everywhere in attack. Aggressive, clinical, and the clear difference maker so far tonight. Mary Lundgren added the Eagles' other goal, continuing her strong run of form against Maine after scoring in their last meeting as well. The Eagles' front line has been relentless, and right now Maine just hasn't had an answer. Still, there have been some standouts from the home side in that first half. Wilson has made several strong saves to keep things from getting even more lopsided. And Sophie Golkluski has also been pretty impressive, and Ali Mokriski have put in some serious work defensively, battling through constant pressure. Golkluski also had Maine's lone attacking moment of the half with a half chance that missed just wide. But plenty of work ahead for Maine if they want to make this competitive in the second half, but they've got 45 minutes to respond. Halftime here in Portland, Old Eagles 4, Maine Footy nothing.
I always knew I wanted to go to college, but I had to believe in myself to be able to make a change.
It's really about, do you like what you're doing? And that is part of what I have liked about going to school here, is that it's challenging. And I wanted challenge. I wanted something that would test me a bit.
I think free college is important because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. There's other avenues besides going to a 4-year school and being in debt.
SMCC.
SMCC.
SMCC, defy expectations.
Halftime at Fitzpatrick Stadium as you see the teams getting ready to take the field. It's 4-0 in favor of the Old Eagles. And, well, Maine Summers are known for their calm and beauty, but this first 45 has been anything but that. It is 4-0 in favor of the visitors. The Old Eagles have come in like a storm, and they've blown this first half wide open. Sarah Parker has been downright ruthless. She has a first-half hat trick and looking like she's playing the game on fast forward. If you blinked, you'd probably have missed her goals. Just really incredible stuff. Mary Lund-Regan, as expected, got into the fun too. Now she has goals in back-to-back matches against Maine Footy and once again made her presence felt in the wide areas. The Eagles have been sharp, clinical, and honestly it looks like they remembered exactly how the last matchup went and just picked up where they left off. They scored 4 goals total in that first match. They have 4 goals in the first half tonight. But let's not pretend Maine Footy hasn't had their moments. Just not nearly enough of them yet. Wilson in goal has made some brilliant stops, including one sequence that felt more like a whack-a-mole than a soccer save in blank. I should say a soccer save. Point blank it was, where she tipped it over the crossbar. She's been under constant pressure, though, and she's still held her ground at times. And on the back line, Sophie Gokluski and Ali Mokriski have been working overtime, and they're not getting paid for it either. If effort was a stat, they'd be leading the league right now in it the way they've paid. Gokluski even had Maine's best look of the first half, just dragged it wide, but it gave the crowd something to hold on to. A couple keys coming out of this for the halftime break I want you to be paying attention to. Stop giving the ball to the other team if you're Maine, plain and simple. The Eagles have been feeding off turnovers like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Tighten it up, stay compact, and avoid getting stretched. They also have to find the spark. Maybe it's a set piece. Maybe it's a moment of individual brilliance, or maybe it's yelling YOLO and sending numbers forward. Either way, they need something, anything, to swing the momentum as the second half of action kicks off. For the Old Eagles, they should just keep the pedal to the metal. What's working is working. Pressure, pace, and, well, Parker. Don't overthink it. Manage the game as well. They're up 4-0. This is where you stay smart, keep the ball, and avoid doing anything you'll see on the blooper reel at this point. And again, feed Sarah Parker. If she's going to be out there, and she's already got a hat trick, the only logical next step is see if she gets 5, right? If you're the Old Eagles, that's the way you got to play it. So plenty of soccer left. You never know what can happen in this league. Maine has 45 minutes to regroup, respond, and restore some pride. Then if nothing else, hey, at least the weather is perfect here tonight. 4-0 Maine Footy, second half underway here as we get ready to go. Wilson again under pressure, tries to clear that one to Gokluski. Gokluski met again with a lot of pressure from Maeve Matthews. Maine with an opportunity now. Here they go. Emily Hood with the ball in her foot. She's going to play it wide. Here's Ava Feely. Yarmouth stand out in the home state, in the box, left-footed touch. She's going to rip it, deflects off, and Aller will keep it in. Emily Hood, Ava Feely, great build-up play, and Maine has the first good opportunity of the half. McGee with the ball in her foot, 2 Teal defenders. She's going to play it back to Matthews. Matthews, direct ball into the box. Wilson's going to easily come out, and she'll hold on to that one. And look, back underway here in the second half at Fitzpatrick Stadium in Portland. I'm Taylor Mannix. That was more of a positive start for Maine Footy. Ava Feely and Emily Hood come out with a purpose, bring energy and some real attacking intent. Foul on Ava Feely and a free kick Maine. But right out of the gate, that attempt, Feely's been fearless on the ball. She's one of the best goal scorers this team has, looking to take players on, spark something in the final third, while Hood's movement off the ball has been sharp. She's found pockets of space, stretching the Eagles' back line for the first time tonight, though, where those two, as Badger's going to take this free kick. It's still a 4-0 hole, but this is the response you want to see if you're Coach Baber. Ball into the box. Second ball on the foot of Hood. Well over the bar, though, as she couldn't get over that one. And almost a good opportunity for Maine, but 2 chances early. And again, as we've talked about, finally asking some questions of the Old Eagles defense. They had really been giving them the pass, but right then hammering them a bit offensively. And Maine so far in these first few minutes has shown life. There is a little bit of a blip on the heart monitor for this Footy team. We'll see if they can actually get up off the bed. Mistouched. Respond well, though. Gokluski can't hold on to it. That was Michelle Shoup. Played that one in. Elsa Freeman running on. Johnson's going to play it back to Aller. A good collision there, and they're going to call that on Maine, even though I'm a little upset about that. That looked like 2 players coming together. I think you let that one go and just call that a throw, and it was a physical play, but this is a physical game, as Maeve Matthews will take the free kick. She plays it in short, and here come the Eagles with a little bit of an advantage as Amelia Stevens loses possession. Here comes Feely. Ava Feely fires and over the bar. She wanted that one. A bit of an ambitious attempt after being able to force a turnover. That was Hannah Silva, with the turnover. That forced Ava Feely to go into the attacking third. She's talking to Coach Baber. Looks like she was saying, hey, Coach, can you blame me for that one? I can't. And especially with the hole they're in right now, goals early and often are going to have to start flowing. Here comes Petrie, who they like to play into her. She loses possession. Hood gets it back. Looking for some help. She gets it to Smith. Smith tries to play it over to Gokluski. Johnson under pressure. Well played. Nice 1-2 touch out of pressure, and the Eagles are off and running as they always have been in this game. McGee, though, couldn't get to it. Throw in for Maine, and that's the 1-2 kind of play we've seen from the Eagles. Anytime they get under a lot of pressure from Maine Footy, they find themselves with that 1-2 touch and out, and they've been able to really handle that pressure well so far that Maine's thrown at them. Smith tries to flick onto Gokluski. One back, though. Looking for help. Shoup. Wilson under pressure by McGee. Low-driven ball. Hood has it on her right foot. Plays it out wide. Mokriski up to Feely. Feely tries to get her on the overlapping run, but well defended by the Eagles. Katie Stook was looking for some help, and that one's going to go back out of bounds for a throw-in to the Footy on a lovely night here in Portland, Maine. Out of bounds and a free kick. Look, Ava Feely, Emily Hood, they've come out flying, creating some early attacking pressure and finally giving the Eagles back line something to think about. Feely's been fearless again in possession as we see Wilson take that over to the right side. But hey, you know, maybe it's the perfect weather in Maine that's kicking in. It's warm, breezy. There is a couple clouds in sight as I duck down and look, but you wouldn't really be able to feel it. And look, if you're going to mount a comeback 4-0, this is the kind of evening you want to do it on, right? You'd just rather not be doing it from 4-0 down. Like, you'd probably rather be in the game. But, hey, if there's any night to storm a comeback, it's on a beautiful night. Credit Maine. They're coming out with energy, trying to flip the tone here early in the second half. Battling on that one is Caden Smith. Pressure by Freeman. Slides and over the top, and Badger's going to one-time that one. No fooling around. And out of bounds throw-in now to the Eagles. Julia Johnson's going to switch fields. It's an easy switch for her. Maeve Matthews now will be met with some pressure from Gokluski. Nice job by Shoup to touch that one out of bounds. And the Eagles will have another throw-in. Old Eagles. Matthews out of bounds again, and we'll have a throw-in. Hannah Silva over to the left side now as Kate Stook tried to play a little 1-2, loses it. And Caden Smith comes up with it, tries to clear it, but great pressure by the Eagles. Still a throw-in now for Maine. Mokriski didn't realize, I think, there was a white jersey right behind her. That was McGee. And Lundregan kicks that one out of bounds. A little pinballing action over there, and that side as both teams try to get themselves in possession. Kelsey Flint to Elowich, who had some pressure from McGee, who's working hard back there. Nonstop motor. Got to be careful on that one, as here comes Maeve Matthews. She's going to come hard, but Elowich easily kicks it out. And after a lively start to the half from Maine Footy, the Old Eagles are starting to settle back in, it feels. Stringing passes together, calming things down, slowly regaining control of the tempo here as Matthews looks for the throw-in. One touched back. Stevens over to Silva, and that's great work across the field as they switch them. Goes back to the middle. Lundregan falls. She's not going to get the call. Good no call by the official, and Maine's going to try to break out. Push from behind, and that's an easy one for the middle referee as Caden Smith went to the turf hard, and a yellow card will be given. It looks like it was to number 11, Katie Stook, as she plowed into the back of Caden Smith for that yellow card. And a free kick now just at about the 35-yard line. As we were saying, though, as I was saying, again, Taylor Mannix, your broadcaster here, this Old Eagles team stringing passes together, calming things down, and regaining control of the tempo. They lost it a little bit there. But it's like they hit snooze for the first, I'd say, 5 minutes of this half. They let Maine wake things up a bit, and now they've remembered, oh, right, up 4-0. They presses back on. The midfielders tightening up, and they're starting to knock the ball around with the same confidence we saw in the first half. Maine showed some real intent early, but now the challenge is sustaining it against this Old Eagles team that knows how to manage a lead very, very well. Outscored Maine 8-0 so far in 2 games played as Wilson clears that over. A beautiful header from Freeman. Gokluski with the pressure. Here comes Feely. Almost had it, but Aller one touches it out. Feely with a great opportunity as she slipped in behind the defense and had an opportunity that was cleared away by Aller. And Ava Feely, who's had a great start to this half. Gokluski now trying to show off the foot skills, met by 2 white jerseys, loses possession. Here comes Lundregan, takes a touch around Caden Smith, and they're off and running. Here come the Eagles. Great defense by Sophie Gokluski, who's just on offense and somehow made it halfway back down the field to delay. Unbelievable effort, as we've discussed all day today on the broadcast. McGee takes a touch towards the touches back, down to the corner. Here's Lundregan, left-footed cross into the danger zone, flicked on. Cleared out by Maine. Elsa Freeman was looking for the flick on, but Julia Johnson was able to win the ball. Stevens, as a Maine player hits the turf. It was number 6, Emily Hood, who was in that battle with Amelia Stevens. And now Badger played in from Alexis Elowich. She takes that one up over the half mark. Julia Johnson easily won, but falls to the feet of Ava Feely. Second ball, looking for an overlapper. She's going to take a left-footed shot that goes wide, and really just a half chance there. But she still gets props from her teammate Elsa Freeman, as Maine knows they need to continue to generate opportunities and not allow the Eagles continue to get back into the possession they've been in. They've started, as I mentioned, to really slow that tempo down, start to get comfortable back within themselves, stringing passes together, calming things down, and just regaining that tempo. But Maine has shown more, at least life offensively here early on in these first few minutes, and generating more opportunities. We'll see, though, if they can actually find the back of the net. They've yet to do that this year against this Eagles team. Katie Stook. She's one-on-one now with Smith. Smith now on the outside, plays it down. Mokriski on the Eagles. It's Lundregan. Lundregan with 2 defenders on her. Lundregan spins, and she gets to space. Here comes Mo Kriski now trying to slow her down. Able to get a foot on it, and it goes out of bounds for a corner kick. And Lund Regan will look to take it, as she's been dangerous and has found the back of the net once today. It does look like Lund Regan will actually step out, and heading over there is Amelia Edwards to take that corner kick. Amelia Edwards and Lund Regan on that corner. Maine playing the short, as you see Feely and Elowich over there. A lot of bodies in the box. Left-footed, low-driven. Well headed out that time by Gokluski, who, again, has been really everywhere today. Feely dispossessed. Ball bounds in the air, hits the turf, cleared by Shoop, but only falling to the foot of the Eagles. Johnson. Directly to Edwards, who plays that out to Stevens. Stevens now to McGee. Out of bounds, and a goal kick as the Eagles slowly get their rhythm back in this game. Still have yet to generate a better chance than Maine has this half. But the Eagles will be happy with where they sit as that clock keeps running. Time is their friend and the enemy of Maine. And this one will go out for a corner kick. And taking it again will be number 8, Annabelle Edwards, Annabelle Edwards with this kick. She's going to go left-footed. Maine watching it short. 6 white jerseys in the box. It falls to the head of Katie Stook, but she can't even hit the target, as that one will go to the fence, and Maine will try this goal kick again. And a player hits the turf, and it will be a free kick given. Quickly played in. One back almost by Maine, but well possessed there, as Amelia Stevens recognized the danger they were in. Petrie to Lund Regan, who plays a beautiful ball to the left side. Offsides flag goes up, though, and Maine will have a free kick. And look, we've hit a bit of a lull here in the second half. Pace has definitely slowed. Both sides are feeling a little more measured after that chaotic first half. For Maine Footy, this is where one of the halftime keys really comes back into play for me. This is where, when you're playing out of these, I've seen Wilson be involved with it. But this is where Emma Badger, you have to feel, needs to get more touches, slow the game down when needed, and be a connector in the midfield. If Maine's going to build anything meaningful, they want to try to build from her through the back and continue to be able to get those direct balls over the top to the corners. On the flip side for the old Eagles, look, I mean, content to manage this lead, right? That's what they've been doing, and rightfully so. They came out flying. They've got the cushion, and now they're just looking to avoid mistakes and I think control this tempo, which is one of their keys we talked about coming out of the halftime break. So not the most electric stretch of this match, but with a 4-0 scoreline, you get the sense both sides are starting to play the long game here in the second half, as Maine will shield and an offside flag will be raised for another Maine Footy free kick. Taylor Mannix here from Fitzpatrick Stadium on the call in a beautiful Portland, Maine on a Sunday night. 62nd minute here, 4-0 in favor of the visitors, who now have outscored this Maine team 8-0 in just about, say 170, 180 minutes of about 170 minutes, I'd say, of soccer. Free kick given, and taking it will be Grace Petrie. Quickly played into Lundregan, who plays that one across. Maine, though, trying to get it. Nicely won back by Gokluski. She has space to work with. Gokluski down that left side. Left-footed cross. She had a back post player, but it was overrun by Caden Smith, who took a bad angle on that one, and out of bounds it goes. It will stay Maine ball. Ava Feely with the throw-in. Feely, great throw into the box. Gokluski couldn't get the flick on, and Auger will collect it. Julia Johnson plays that one up. Can't. I was going to say can't corral it, but tough touch, and no one really jumped on that for Maine as McGee plays that back to the midfield. Back outside now as they work it to Amelia Stevens. Stevens. Back to Stevens, who plays into McGee. And Wilson looking to settle it down, but with the way things are, you'd almost want to see some pace here from Maine. Slowing it down hasn't helped them to this point as they're in a 4-0 hole. Wilson plays that one up. Ava Feely couldn't get the first ball head on it, but out of bounds it goes after it was headed out by the Eagles. Okriski. Out of bounds and a throw-in now for Maine. Still looking for their first goal tonight. Okriski with the throw-in. Hood tried to get it to Flint. Flint now plays it back to Mokriski. Mokriski back down into Elsa Freeman. Great pressure here by Petrie of the Eagles, and still a free kick, or excuse me, a throw-in, but you see Petrie, who usually starts the offense and showing a lot of defense there. Really good one-on-one and pressure defense as falls to the foot of Hood. Maine trying to get something going. Gokluski couldn't get on it. Good pressure here by Maine, but the Eagles now able to alleviate a little bit of it. Turnover back to Maine. That was Smith who was able to get it. Smith now touches it to Freeman. Freeman turns. She looks for some help. She takes a few touches. Crossover. Plays that one. Here comes Hood, who touches back to Freeman, who tried to line that one up with her left foot, but great defensive effort on that one by Annabelle Edwards and a free kick given. Maine, though, had an opportunity, and they'll have another one as this ball will be right around the 20-yard line, so about 20 yards out here as Maine gets a free kick. They're in a free kick again, about 20, 25 yards out. This could be the much-needed spark. They haven't had many set-piece opportunities tonight. So this is a real chance to get something on frame or at least test the Eagles' back line. It'll be interesting to see who steps over it. Freeman into the wall. Tries to load it back up. Falls to the feet of a couple Footy. Cleared out by Petrie and well defended by the Eagles as they clear. And a trip and a free kick going to be given again. This time, this will be at about the 25-yard, 27-yard line. And once again, I just said they haven't had many set-piece opportunities tonight. Well, now we got back-to-back. So now this is a real chance to get something on frame and test the Eagles' back line, I swear. This is the one. So we have back-to-back opportunities for the first time in the game. It had been quiet for this Maine Footy team on this front, but two back-to-back chances. Last one going right into the wall from Elsa Freeman. This looks like Feely will be over the ball, and she's going to take an opportunity. Badger heads out towards the 30-yard mark as you see her on your screen. We'll see how Maine approaches it. Feely over the ball. Drives one at Auger, and that one is saved with ease, not tested much. And back into the defensive end goes Maine Footy, and offensively, the Eagles will look to settle things back down and regain control, up 4-0. Two big chances on those free kicks for Maine, but not able to get anything. One off the wall from Freeman, the other on net, though, by Feely, just not much on it. Kate Stuck blows past Mo Kriski. Stuck plays one across, dangerous, and that was number 8, Annabelle Edwards, who almost met that one, but well defended by Michelle Shoup. And look, that's 2 free kicks. Now missed for Maine Footy. Neither found the mark. Again, one was on target, one wasn't. Down 4-0, you're not expecting a miracle comeback, but you are looking for moments to build on, and those set pieces could have offered a spark. Instead, they'll go down as missed opportunities in a night that's already been full of them for Maine, as a couple subs being made. Ava Feely has stepped off for Maine, along with Caden Smith. The Eagles with a big opportunity. Katie Stuck, number 11, took the chance, and it goes just wide. And we had a sub for Maine. Wilson has checked off, and also Paige Gagne has checked on, number 77, as she clears that one for Maine as she hops in net, and a goal change and a couple other opportunity changes as Maine will look to have a little bit of a different look here in the second half, down 4-0. We did mention it that there was quite an opportunity, big chance just now from the old Eagles. As Katie Stuck scoring chance for the Eagles. Big missed chance, though. Nearly made it 5. She found space at the top of the box, took it first time, and didn't miss. You see another great opportunity for Maine. And a corner kick. Great save by us. Probably the most she's been tested tonight. As Ali Mokriski will take the corner kick. Let's take a look back. Beautiful opportunity here as it was touched on, and you see a right-footed blast. Good save. And a head flicked on. Maine with an opportunity now. They're dangerous. Almost a chance. Auger, though, able to get her hands on it. And going the other way is Maine. That was Grace Marquise with the cross. She's checked in, number 17. Already getting active. As there's Marquis again. She's right on it. Played direct. Stepping in, though, is Maine. Elowich now in possession to Badger. We'll play it back to Gagne. Paige Gagne in net again. New face in net. Wilson has taken a seat. Gagne tries to play one up to Freeman. She can't get it. Ball bounces around. Emily Hood not able to keep possession, and a foul going to be called. Free kick for the Ole Eagles. Ball deep in the main end and out of bounds. We'll see where that one's ruled to, and it is a corner kick. And what a turnaround in tempo it feels like we've seen here in the last 5 minutes. After a slow, measured start to the second half, we've got back and forth action breaking out. Just a moment after Katie Stuck nearly made it 5 for the Eagles, Maine Footy answered right back with one of their best chances of the night. Quick build-up, a dangerous ball into the box, and for a split second, it looked like Maine might finally break through with that shot, but a great save on the other side by Aller. The pace has picked up, though, as we have a corner kick driven. Header almost on target, but goes wide. And the Eagles may have the cushion, but Maine's not backing down. The stretch has so far been one of the best of the night. And it slowed down out of the second half, and it was a lull for a bit. But now we've got a little back and forward action. Might have to do with getting some fresh legs on. Has a great touch into the box, and Gagne with a beautiful play. Paige steps in and already feels the action, and she takes that one and plays it out quickly. Tough ball as Ali Mokriski has not been able to find the best touches today. That one played down to McGee. McGee's deep into the corner. Ella McGee one-on-one. She's going to play it over to her teammate Lundregan. She'll try to turn. Lundregan turns, fires, and goes wide. Great defense by Freeman on that one. As you see, you just don't want to let her turn, get to that left foot. She almost nearly did. She has one goal tonight, another goal the last time they played, and almost had her third in this meeting between the Maine Footy and the Eagles. Second ball, one to Elowich. She'll play to the middle. Bad touch, failed her. McGee battling for it in the middle was Stevens. Johnson now to the outside. Back to McGee. She has Stevens to her left. McGee dribbling in. Well defended by Mokriski. Lundregan tries to turn. She gets it to Stevens, who plays that one over to Petrie. Petrie now getting deep into the territory. They're into the attacking third. Nice cut back there by Stooks. Stooks going to fire one, saved by Gagne. Maine going to try to keep it in. They do, and Sophie Gokluski will clear that for a corner kick. What a save for the new goaltender as she was tested early. Katie Stook, too. Two big-time shots, not able to find the back of the net. She's knocking at the door, but Maine Footy isn't letting her walk through it. Another sharp run for Stook, another quality look, but once again, the finish just isn't there thanks to some solid last-ditch defending. Some more right there and a quick reaction. Maine battling. Gokluski tries to win it back. Johnson, though, good communication, as now the Eagles will talk it up and try to get back going in possession. Stevens tried to play it wide, but two big chances for Stook in this half, and while the Eagles remain firmly in control, Maine deserves credit for digging in and not letting this get worse. Could have easily been 5 on this one. Easily 5. As you see, Elowich be dispossessed, and now a throw-in for the Eagles tonight. See a lovely Fitzpatrick Stadium, brand new turf, thanks to the USL League One Portland Hearts of Pine, who this is now their new home. Normally we're at Memorial Field, but tonight we are here as trying to get cheeky was Sarah Parker. She's got a hat trick already tonight, showing her creativity. She's been all over the place. Awfully quiet in this second half. Hasn't had to do much, though. She did her job in the first. Throw in now for the Eagles, and that one's kicked out and well defended by Sophie Gokluski. Gokluski in defense. Lundregan has space, fires it left-footed and just over the bar. Quite a few chances now for this Eagles team as they have been firing away. Take a look back at this one for Lundregan. As more chances continue to be created, she gets the turn and then gets the space on the touch, and with that left-footed rip, had it on frame but just too high. Again, another chance there, as you saw, for those old Eagles as they're trying to knock at the door again. Ripping that one, and what a beautiful goal that time from Parker. Sarah Parker has 4. That's a golazo. As we take a look back, are you kidding me? Parker just put an exclamation point on an already dominant night with an absolute rocket. That's her 4th goal of the match, and this one was something special, struck from distance. It dipped perfectly and left the keeper no chance. She's been untouchable tonight. Pace, positioning, and now pure power. The Eagles lead 5-0. Sarah Parker is putting on a show here in Portland. What a goal for the Eagles, and Maine has a tall task in front of them. Badger now will play it from the back line up to Marquis. Marquis now touches it back. There's Parker, though. Nice spin move by Badger to maintain possession and not be dispossessed. Elowich gives possession back. Here comes Ella McGee. Has space, plays one between the defenders, and here comes Gagne out with 2 hands to corral that one, and it is 5-0 as we creep towards the 80th minute here in Portland. Sarah Parker is the story tonight. She's been unstoppable. Maine will try to salvage something here as Emily Hood pressures. Auger trying to hold the shutout. She's had to been called upon a few times here in the second half and make some big-time saves, but otherwise her defense has been able to hold strong, and she hasn't been able or had to do too much work. Emily Hood now. She gets to Freeman. Freeman swarmed, as they have all night, looking for help. Back to Badger. She's met with Parker. Had to react quick and does. Out of bounds and a throw-in. And we're about 10 minutes left here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. I'm Taylor Mannix, and it's been a dominant display from the Ole Eagles, who lead 5-0 over Maine Footy. The headline is all Sarah Parker, 4 goals, including a second-half golazo that might be the pick of the bunch. Mary Lund-Regan added one of her own, and the Eagles have been close just like there as Parker almost gets 5, but a whistled out, and Maine gets bailed out a little bit on that one. Could have been a 5th goal for Parker as she's down and trying to shake off what was a little bit of a bump and probably a bruise coming on after. Another great display from Parker, but the Eagles have been in control from start to finish. Maine has had a few bright moments. Ava Feely and Emily Hood sparked some life early in the second half. Wilson, when she was in net, made some key saves to keep it from getting even worse, but missed chances on free kicks, and some close calls from the Eagles have kept the pressure on. It's been all Eagles, but Maine's still battling here in this final stretch. Subs have come in as the benches have cleared for Portland, and we will finish this one out as it's been all Eagles again. It is a 9-0 advantage in the last 2 games for the Eagles as Freeman looks for some help. Nice touch pass to Hood as Hood will get on her horse. One back by McGee. McGee, nice outside touch, and they'll get going. Here comes Katie Stook, who's been looking for a goal. Carries, tries to play it up, and easily collected. In defense is Maine. Well organized back there are Maine Footy. Great kick for Gagne, almost over the top, but Lund-Regan able to get back possession. And Lund-Regan now on the left side. Tried to cut it back inside, loses possession, battling for it though. Able to get it to her teammate, and now they're back. Katie Stook. Or excuse me, that's Petrie. Plays it to Julia Johnson. Johnson will take a few dribbles past the 50-yard line. Johnson now. Cuts it back. Beautiful move there on number 10, Caden Smith. Here comes the Eagles. Cut back to the middle, and no call. Gagne collects it. And looking to punt this one out of her own zone. Well driven over the 50-yard line. Takes a bounce. Looking for the second ball. Ava Feely in. Takes a header. Will win it herself. Great play by Feely. Feely now one-on-one with Johnson. She's going to use the left foot, and that will go. Nothing doing. And it looks like a corner kick will be given. If I'm not mistaken, it is, as there was a little bit of a deflection, and Maine will have a chance maybe to get on the board. It will be Ali Mokriski who will take this, and down 5 with 10 to play. It's not about a comeback. It's about finding something to take away from tonight. Mokriski into the box. Auger punches that one out. Working hard for it, though, is Maine. Beautiful hustle. Well won back by Caden Smith, but cleared out by the Eagles. And could it have been a moment for Maine? Yes, but it wasn't. A few chances, whether it have been on the corner kicks, whether it have been on the free kicks. Maine has had plenty of them, but has come up short. Gokluski to Freeman. Elsa Freeman played that one across, and now Emma Badger, who's been awfully quiet. I had her in my keys to the game. She's been quiet tonight, and Maine has yet to score. They're down 5-0. Caden Smith plays that one outside. Back to Badger as Maine being methodical. A couple minutes left. The pressure is not worn off, though, as the Eagles are continuing to press. Shoop to Freeman. Freeman will play that one wide. Beautiful move, plays it in. Auger steps up, though, and couldn't get to it. Was Sophie Gokluski right around there, hoping to clean it up like the garbage man. But it's not Tuesday in my neighborhood. And Auger's able to collect that one easy. 85th minute. There's Parker. She loses possession, but it goes to Stevens. She'll play one wide. Here comes Ella McGee. Gagne, though, will come out and collect it and easily roll it back out to try to get her team going. Can Maine salvage a goal? Freeman plays that one over the top and across. Met with plenty of pressure because it's just been an impressive display here from the Eagles, who have not let off the gas pedal. And that one almost goes in, and almost a big mistake there. Could have been 6-0, but avoiding disaster is Maine, and that one goes out of bounds. So we finally wind down to the final minutes here and the final whistle. Should mention, with it being 5-0, Sarah Parker has been unstoppable. She had a first-half hat trick and then added a fourth. Mary Lund Regan added another goal to keep the pressure high despite the scoreline. Maine has shown some fight. Gagne's in, but when Wilson was out, she made some saves. Gokluski and Mokriski have also played well, battling hard on the back line. Gokluski nearly pulled them back earlier in the first half with a great shot. And look, as we get closer to ending this, Maine will be looking to regroup after this, right? They're going to have to do some soul searching after being outscored so far 9-0 to this Eagles team. And for them, they'll want to continue to maintain their relentlessness, the pressure, and keep feeding Parker. I mean, she has been fantastic tonight. This team can score some goals, and we see why it was 4-0 the last time they played, 5-0 now. McGee rips one across, low driven. And guess who on the other side? Annabelle Edwards. Parker was in the middle as a goal kick will be given. Played short to Badger. Gagne now over to Shoop. Mokriski. Back to Shoop, over to Badger as Maine just tries to, at this point, I mean, they're clearly not trying to attack. Being direct, looking for opportunities over the top, but not losing their shape in the back. They're keeping 4 players back at all times as here comes the Eagles. A dangerous chance right there for Stevens, who was dispossessed. Played out wide now as the Eagles will once again try to add a 6 tally to this one. Rips it with their right foot. Saved there by Paige Gagne, and a nice one as we come on to the final minute of regulation. Don't expect much after 90 with the way this sits. So that one is punted right to the 50-yard line. One back in by the Eagles. Good job by McGee to get a foot on that. Maine now pinball action in the midfield and easily played back. Hannah Silva has done a great job there in the midfield tonight. Petrie tried to play it to her teammate down the line, but wasn't able to find and connect as that one goes out of bounds for another Maine throw-in. Maine just trying to survive. I'll give up another goal at this point as it has been all Eagles. Free kick given to the Eagles now as we hit 90 minutes. We have officially hit 90 minutes, and we'll see what added time is given. I can't imagine much, as a free kick will be given to the Ole Eagles. Plays it short. Tried to get a little 1-2 touch going there on the outside with Annabelle Edwards. Maine will go in transition now, playing it over the top to Feely, easily defended by Julia Johnson. Hood loses possession. One back by Edwards. She played it right to the middle, and there's Stevens. Stevens will take it with her right foot. Plays it out to McGee. McGee one-on-one now with Mokriski. McGee off a deflection. Header almost goes in for Edwards, but instead a free kick given. And I'm surprised that the whistle hasn't blown yet either as we get on to 91 minutes in this match. Goal kick now for Maine. Played short to Badger. And that's the final whistle here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Ole Eagles come away with a commanding 5-0 victory over Maine Footy. Sarah Parker, absolutely sensational tonight, finishing with 4 goals, including the incredible goal Lazo to seal the deal. Mary Lund-Regan also added to the tally, continuing her strong run against Maine. Maine fought hard. Wilson and Gagne combined made some crucial saves, and the defense led by Gokluski and Mokriski showed plenty of grit. Ava Feely and Emily Hood brought some attacking energy in the second half, but the Eagles' dominance was too much to overcome. Maine will look to regroup and bounce back in their next match, while the Eagles keep building on this dominant performance. Thanks for joining us tonight for United Women's Soccer Clash. We'll be back soon with more coverage and analysis. Here, I'm Taylor Mannix.